Ilia Topuria, the new featherweight champion, recently expressed his dream of facing Khabib Nurmagomedov, the former lightweight champion. Topuria is confident that if given the chance to fight Nurmagomedov, he would emerge victorious. In his latest fight at UFC 298 in Anaheim, California, Topuria secured a remarkable second-round knockout against Alexander Volkanovski, the former pound-for-pound #1, in a heated rivalry. Looking ahead, Topuria plans to fight in Spain, where he currently resides. However, Brian Ortega, a former title contender, challenged him after winning an arm triangle submission over Yair Rodriguez. While Topuria welcomed the idea of a future lightweight title challenge against Islam Makhachev, he surprised many by expressing his desire to face Nurmagomedov, Makhachev's training partner and former champion, whom he believes he could defeat. During a recent interview, Topuria spoke about his admiration for Nurmagomedov, acknowledging his undefeated record and considering him a worthy and honorable champion. Despite Nurmagomedov retiring in 2020 with a flawless 29-0 record, Topuria is confident that he could beat him in the octagon. Nurmagomedov retired after securing a second-round triangle choke submission win over Justin Gaethje, unifying the titles and maintaining his unbeaten professional record. Since retiring, Nurmagomedov briefly coached at the American Kickboxing Academy and was recently inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame's Fight Wing. The prospect of a potential showdown with Topuria adds an intriguing twist to Nurmagomedov's post-retirement endeavors. The next we have is Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega welcomes title fight with Ilia Topuria after UFC Mexico win. Brian Ortega, a former two-time challenger for the featherweight title, secured his first victory inside the octagon in 4 years at UFC Mexico City. In a highly anticipated co-main event, Ortega faced off against former interim champion Yair Rodriguez in a rematch. The Los Angeles-born fighter, currently ranked #4 in the featherweight division, endured a challenging opening round, experiencing 2 quick knockdowns from Rodriguez's lightning-fast strikes. However, Ortega displayed resilience and turned the tide in the second round, dominating his opponent. In the third round, he managed to mount Rodriguez and executed an impressive arm triangle submission to secure the win. This triumph marked Ortega's first victory since his decision win against Chan Sung Jung in Abu Dhabi in 2020. Following that win, he faced back-to-back losses against Alexander Volkanovski and Rodriguez. Now, with his recent victory, Ortega is contemplating a shot at the featherweight title once again. He expressed openness to a championship battle with the newly crowned gold holder, Ilia Topuria. Despite being ranked #4, Ortega sees the potential for a title clash and is willing to travel to Spain if necessary. Speaking to the media after his win in Mexico City, Ortega showed respect for the former champion, Alexander Volkanovski, and emphasized that he is not one to kick him down. He acknowledged Volkanovski's achievements but stated that if Volkanovski decides not to fight and take a break, Ortega would be more than happy to go to Spain for the title challenge. Ilia Topuria, the new featherweight champion, gained widespread attention earlier this month with a remarkable victory over dominant gold holder Volkanovski. In the co-main event at UFC 298 in Anaheim, California, Topuria secured a blistering second-round knockout, shocking the world and his fellow featherweight contenders. The prospect of a potential clash between Ortega and Topuria adds excitement to the featherweight division, creating anticipation for a thrilling championship bout. In the end, we have Nate Diaz. Veteran star Nate Diaz targets return at Las Vegas Sphere. Nate Diaz, a former contender in the lightweight division, is gearing up for a highly anticipated return to the UFC stage at UFC 306, scheduled for September 14 at the Las Vegas Sphere, coinciding with Mexican Independence Day. Despite initial speculation about a comeback at the monumental UFC 300 event in April, Diaz's plans took a different turn, and fans are now eagerly anticipating his return to active competition later this year. The last time Diaz graced the octagon was in September 2022 at UFC 279, where he made a memorable exit from his promotional contract with a victorious performance against Tony Ferguson. Diaz sealed the deal in the 4th round with a skillful guillotine choke in an impromptu welterweight clash. Following this successful stint, Diaz briefly ventured into professional boxing, engaging in a bout against the outspoken Jake Paul in August. Unfortunately, he faced a decision loss after a challenging 10-round contest in Texas. Rumors had been circulating regarding potential matchups against familiar adversaries such as Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor, but Diaz has now set his sights on a comeback at UFC 306. The promotion has slated this event for September at the Las Vegas Sphere, where Diaz aims to make a triumphant return to the octagon. Expressing his sentiments on social media, Diaz boldly declared, "I'll be here, forget 300, alongside an image of the Las Vegas Sphere adorned with the Mexican flag. This proclamation not only showcases Diaz's disregard for UFC 300, but also emphasizes his determination to participate in UFC 306 and be a key part of the anticipated pay-per-view card in September. As the countdown to UFC 306 begins, fans are not only anticipating the return of the Stockton veteran, but are also intrigued by the significance of Diaz choosing to compete on Mexican Independence Day, adding a layer of cultural resonance to his much-anticipated comeback.